Hello, we're back for another diet update. Let's break this down and see everything that has been happening so we'll know exactly what has happened for this week and transpired. So I'll switch over to this so you can have a look. So as an example, as you can see, the weight loss was very effective, very good. So I've got 8 weeks left on that. Basically just under a kilo I lost again. So it's been coming off and, that's been quite well. So it's been doing what it's had to do. Like I said, I could have spent a lot longer gradually taking everything off, but it would have took me 6 months or more to get that. But that's fine. I'll deliberately shave a little bit of tissue off that I could have kept to get leaner this time, so I can re-add it back on at a later date, and it will show a bigger improvement in between that time. I think as well it's got to do with, I'm getting closer to 20 weeks of nutrition. So I've been doing the nutrition for quite a long time. So, being in a deficit that period along, my muscle tissue would suffer as an example. So next time as I get leaner, I'll prefer to use a method where I only need to spend about 12 weeks or, not even that to get ready for prep. So, I can re-comp back into it and fill my muscles back out. That will definitely happen, but we'll see how that goes as we're going along. As I was explaining, so, at the beginning, my legs are sitting there close to 32 inches. So, there's a bit of fat there, a bit of other. So I expect once I rebound out that I'll be able to get that leg size back. And plus I'll integrate some other techniques and some other things that actually are effective and go against the grain. And a lot of different people try to say, oh, this is not going to work. But I'll prove it and I'll show you to you guys that it will actually work. I won't go with everyone else and the way that they say something will work. I'll try it myself, make sure it works. If it works, I keep it. If it's bullshit, I get rid of it. Got many different methods I use that accountability with, because most of them like to read their studies and think they know everything. But like I says, it's different between having practical knowledge and actually applying it to reading something and thinking you know it all. But anyway, side the point, and not open to learn anything else. Say that you are, but you aren't. Anyway, side the point. So let's get into that. So my legs have shrank quite a lot. Sorry for the long rant and plant. Anyway, let's drop that negativity. So so like I said, so the legs have come down quite a lot. Usually at this point, this is the point when the muscle dysmorphia will kick in for me, and it will be a lot more difficult for me to turn around and go, oh shit, I've got to re-eat, and then I usually re-eat, and then I transition back in because I'm comfortable leaving my legs at 30 inches. So every time in the past, my head will get the better of me, and I'll think, oh, I'm getting too small, and I shouldn't do this because of that, and then I just fall back into that old routine and I re-eat. So finally I'm trying to break that routine. It is being difficult, it is hard still. Like I said, I look at myself and I think I'm tiny, but I just taking it one day at a time and just trying to push through and get through all that stress. But it is what it is. What I did do just to test to see with these legs, so we'll get a little bit more into the legs. I messed with it and I had the cardio up quite higher. So I want to see if pulling that cardio back just a little bit for a week, if that's going to affect my leg size or not. I was told by a few people that they reckon that it would. So I will test that method and I will see. But in the past when I've done that, it hasn't had a bigger effect. But by saying that, I was always at a heavier weight. Being at a lesser weight, maybe it might come into a toll and have a more effect. There we go again, testing things to make sure they work for yourself. So make sure you do the same thing. Keep an open mind with certain things. But like I says, if you were on track for an actual something, you wouldn't want to test a great deal if you knew it worked and you knew what to do during that period of time. Better to test things slightly in an off-season scenario. But anyway, so I shaved a little bit of calories off each meals. As you can see, they will drop down just a tiny bit. I didn't mess with them too much, so we'll mess with a few other things. Like I said, I might adjust food a little bit more yet this week. I will see how the loss goes. I might just leave it. I don't know. We'll have a look, because like I said, my calories are low at the moment anyway, so I don't think I've got to mess with them too much. Let's switch over to here. So like I said, so I did let's have a little chat about Vince Taylor here. If we look at Vince Taylor, I was told by someone his chest at the top looks small. I don't think so. I think your opinion's full of shit, but that's okay. That's my opinion too. But his legs look small. But yeah, realistically, I think they're proportionate for his body. Like it says, maybe in his older thing, but then you've taken the best from someone who you like, and then like I've watched you do it a few times, you will go, okay, I like this body at their prime at this time, but you don't use their body in the weaker point. So you should have the same bias to everyone. But anyway, side the point. So if you look, his legs were small. I don't really think they were too small, to tell you the truth. Like I says, I think they're proportionate for his time and what he needed for his body, and I quite liked him as a bodybuilder. I thought he was very underrated, but like I says, he come third for a long period of time, had a long reign with lots of different wins, and like I says, he competed all the way up to he was 50 years old, similar to Dexter Jackson. I quite respect them guys because they obviously did it for a longer period of time. Probably did smarter with all their substance use and other things. So to be in it for the longevity in that period of time, it's easy to turn around and just lift heavy all the time, then your body breaks down. So that's like a style of training I've integrated more, and I've been enjoying that a bit more. I'll jump up and we'll have a look. So like as an example, what I've been doing is I've been doing a lot more. Instead of doing like real heavy all the time, I've let that style of training go. So I might do one set to like close to 90%, and then that's about it. All the other sets, the other two, the other three, depends on what I'm training, because I've got different methods that I use. I would just use a higher rep range, or slow the exercise down. So I do both. I do a higher rep range with one set. I do one set where I will have closer to a failure rep range for that whole exercise of individuals. So say if I do 10 sets, I don't really count my sets per se. I might pick 3 exercises or 2 exercises or even 1 exercise. It just depends. But if I do 1 exercise, all them variations will be in it. So as an example, the variations will fluctuate like this. As I explained before, the first one will be usually a pyramid setup. So it helps you warm up, so you get an effective warm up really quickly, and you don't have the issue of having wasted sets. So I start at a very low weight, deliberately started, I can hardly lift it. Just do 7 sets, go through the whole set. So say if I'm doing dumbbells, or 1 plate at a time, and you just do 1 giant set all the way up. So I don't count that. So that can go for anywhere to 15 sets just with that 1 set, and you get close to that failure point where you just can't do it. Then when you're at that point, you'll drop it down. Your working sets from then on after is that same failure weight, and it always, every time I've done that, it always is a good burn set. If you really push and dig deep, you can get 1 more weight above that once you've had the rest in between it. But that's a methodology you usually use to start off with if I wanted to warm up. Then say I will use go and do the next set of exercises. I'll use a rep range higher in the 20, but move through a little bit quicker, but really get a good pump and a good engage in the muscle. And then say it's the next, and I'm doing the next one, then I'll use a different method. Then the next method is, then I'll use a slow. So the reason I'm thinking this is I want to hit and just drain the muscle like a tea towel. So, I want to wring every last little drop out of it and maximize as much as I possibly can. So that's the methodology behind that whole method of training and what it did. It's different than putting it into play, and so the rest times will vary in between what part of that training cycle that I'll go more in depth and more deep in that at later episodes, and more on and teach you guys about them things moving forward. But yeah, so I think I don't have much more to add with this week's update. Like I said, it's been pretty eventful. It's been a good week. Haven't got much complaint, like I said. But yeah, stay tuned for more content. Subscribe to the channel. Oh, by saying that, if you guys would like to, I plan on doing maybe a type of show in the future. DM me, and if you want to come on the show and we can have like a fitness conversation, as long as you know slightly knowledgeable and you've had some type of training for a little bit of time and your thing. So just looking for some like-minded people to get involved, and we can do a different type of show and just talk fitness-related stuff. So, like I says, the other couple of people I have spoke to in the past were all cool for doing it, but then they just decided to waste my time, and I don't have time for that, so I'm not bothering with them now. So we've got some, like I said, I'd like to get some new people on so we can do this show. So let's see. DM me for that, and stay tuned. DM me as well for coaching services. Hooray and goodbye.